Hello again, I'm Bob Colt, and we're continuing our conversations in Charlotte Public Schools. Dan Christian is here with the Aquatic Center. Tell me, a lot of people have been there, but maybe they don't know all about the facility you have.
That's right, and it's a big facility, and what I love to tell people is, this is one thing that our community can be very proud of, because we not only have one terrific pool, we have two. We have one pool that we do a lot of our swim lesson programming and any competitive swim meets. It's a 360,000 gallon competition pool. It's always kept at 82 degrees, which is warmer than off the coast of Hawaii. In that same facility, we have mezzanine seating for 250 people. Decktronic, which is cutting edge scoring and timing system for any kind of competitive swim meets. Then on the other side, we have a 90-degree warm water therapy pool where we have a lot of physical therapy, water aerobic classes, and throughout the day there's open swimming in both pools. And also to suit the community, we have two different sets of locker rooms. We have locker rooms for adults who are 18 and over who want to come in, and then we have locker rooms for all of the kids at the other end of the pool who come in and take gym classes. So if you're looking for a peaceful afternoon or mid-morning swim, you can come in. You don't have to worry about your crowded, yelling, screaming locker rooms. You can kind of take your time and enjoy yourself.
Dan, how does the facility actually attract people from the region?
Well, the facility itself and what we offer, like I said, it's two pools, and a lot of people, I get calls up every day. What's your water temperature like? And I have the luxury of telling them, well, we have 82 degrees, and if that's a little too cold for you, we have 90 degrees. The other thing that'll bring folks in from other areas is the programming that we have. Not a lot of places run American Red Cross swimming lessons, and that's something that all of our instructors are experienced in. They've gone through a certain level of training and have been tested by the American Red Cross. And so you know that when you enter one of our swimming lesson programs, you have an instructor that you can feel safe leaving your child with, and you can be confident that they're going to improve on the skills that they already have. Also, our membership packages. Currently, when you're a member at the Aquatic Center, you get complimentary water aerobics classes and water exercise classes. And we offer over 10 a week, where if you wanted to do all 10 of them, you're welcome to come in and use our facility to do that. And a lot of people take advantage from that, not only from Charlotte, but the surrounding areas too.
Yeah, and so the facility itself, how does it compare to other nearby, if there are nearby facilities?
Any pool is a great pool, and I love being around all different kinds of pools, but what sets ours apart here in Charlotte is just the size of it. I was just talking to someone before we began our conversation, and they said, what's going to happen when we have swim practices in the pool? What's going to happen with all the people who want to come in and do lap swimming or something else? And there is a lot of pool under our roof. We could easily run 2 or 3 programs simultaneously and not be stepping all over each other. For example, we have the capability of running swimming lessons, swim team, and a water aerobics class. Have no problems doing all 3 at the same time, and we've done it before several times. And the people who take all those programs are happy. It's never, hey, we're too crowded, or the music's really bothering us, or anything like that. It's always been a positive experience.
Do you see the facility kind of attracting a lot more competitions in the marketplace, because there are swimming competitions all over the state?
I think so, and we're certainly built for it, and that's been something that I've been researching lately. Not a lot of places have an 8-lane 25-yard by 6-lane 25-meter pool, and we have all the hardware and all the equipment that we need to run a very high-level swim meet, and that's something certainly that we want to get started hopefully very soon. With our Tiger Shark swim team, which I help to coach, we have our first meet this year, this Saturday, and so we'll see how that goes, and we'll build from there and hopefully do exactly what you're talking about and have those attract that kind of competition and have those bigger swim meets.
Well, tell us about the Tiger Sharks.
The Tiger Sharks is a club that basically, for any child who can complete our level 4 swim lesson class, which is basically knowing how to do front crawl and backstroke, up to 18 years old. When we started out this past May, I know we had about 15 kids, and right now we're up to about 25-ish, right around hovering that 24 or 25 number. Basically, it exposes the children in the program to what it takes to be an elite competitive swimmer if they want that. It's also there for, social needs. A lot of kids join clubs or sports because their friends do it, and this is certainly no different. We're right now putting together several out-of-the-pool activities, like possibly a movie night or something where we go outside and play some soccer along with swimming. I mean, because swimming's terrific and I love it and I could do it all the time, but sometimes kids need a break from that, level of competition and stress, and I'm happy to do it.
Sure. Hey, tell us, just going back to the facility itself, how much maintenance does an aquatic center like you have in Charlotte really require? Because I don't think a lot of people think about that, Dan.
It requires a good deal, and it's something that's continuous throughout the day. It's something where locker rooms, for instance, a lot of people are very concerned about bacteria and other viruses that may be caused by the pool deck. And it's something that we've actually started using at night when we close, a biodegradable green deck cleaner that completely sanitizes and deodorizes all the pool decks in the locker rooms. Our locker room and our great maintenance staff are in there several times a day to make sure that nothing is broken, that everything's in tip-top shape. So when you come into the locker room, you can count on taking a nice hot shower and that it's going to be clean. Several times a day, we're monitoring chemical levels in our pool, and they're all kept within CDC regulations. And every month I take a drive into Lansing's Department of Water Quality, into their drinking water lab with samples from our pool, and have that tested every month. And every month we come back with a clean bill of health, and that's something I'm a stickler for. I love having a clean facility, and that's something that we take pride in every day doing.
So a lot of people don't think about it, but when they're gone at night, you have a crew actually cleaning everything.
That's part of our closing duties, and we have a maintenance staff that comes in before we open. Believe it or not, at 5:30 in the morning we open. We have folks that come in a little bit before then and make sure that everything's clean. And so you can be confident when you come in to use the aquatic center. You're going to find a clean facility where you can feel good about using it and not have to worry about all those things that are becoming so commonplace in news stories.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the staff. Who works at the Aquatic Center, and what should we know about them?
Well, aquatic staffs now in general are becoming a little bit more diverse and more eclectic and different backgrounds. I mean, when I was a kid, it would be common to go to a pool and you'd see a bunch of teenage lifeguards. And while we still have some of that, and there's some great employees, what we have now is a staff with little bit of an advanced skill set, I like to call it, because they're water safety instructors. I'm a lifeguard instructor, but I have another employee right now and other employees that are interested in being lifeguard instructors. When it comes to teaching swimming lessons, I have someone on my staff right now, along with myself, who's going through the training, so we can train Red Cross water safety instructors.
And what does that really mean to people?
What it means to people, or in layman's terms, it means that when you come in, it's not just someone off the street with very little experience around kids or around swimming. It's someone that's gone through an extensive level of training who's going to be teaching your child swimming lessons. It's also something where if you're coming to the pool to use the pool on a daily basis, you're going to see an effective form of surveillance at the aquatic center. You're going to see people who come in and there's actually monthly and sometimes twice a month in-services where we have every member of the staff come in and we'll practice something like a scenario for a spinal injury, or this is what happens when we have to help someone out who might have slipped and fallen and hurt their back. So if something comes, I mean, I'm take pride in folks who come into our facility. Just know that no matter what circumstance that our staff has to work with, that they're confident and they're trained to deal with it, whether it's teaching swim lessons, whether it's providing first care, or just whether it's giving information about our facility and programs.
There must be a great risk in just operating the aquatic center. There must be a million things that can happen in a day that usually don't, but could.
And it's all, like you said, risk and risk management. And we have rules and guidelines that our staff enforce, and it's certainly not something where we're the party poopers, but and we certainly want people to come to the pool and have a good fun time, and you know, you're allowed to do cannonballs off the diving boards and things like that. But our staff ensures that folks don't do anything that put themselves into harm's way, whether it's, you know, just things that they might not know that are dangerous, or if it's just keeping a clean facility that folks aren't going to slip and fall in.
Yeah. And so if you have that kind of accident, you have a staff that's trained in how to respond.
Yes, and we actually simulate scenarios like that, like I said, once a month, where we'll go through, and sometimes more than that, where I'll come in and, you know, I'll throw my staff a scenario and say, what would our staff in this position do in this location of the building? What's the other person's responsibility? And we go through a simulation or a drill of the actions that they would take.
Yeah, you want to rehearse what to do in case it ever happens, because then you really have to react quickly, don't you?
Yeah, seconds count when it comes to CPR or any kind of life-saving measure. And my staff's trained to a certain degree, and they know when to call for emergency medical help.
Do you find, Dan, that a lot of people might have a fear of swimming just because they haven't done it much, and how do they overcome that?
Absolutely, and the key to that, and I'm going to share a little trade secret here, is never to force anything. That everybody goes at their own speed. And at Charlotte, you'll see on the exterior of the building, it's the two-ton teaching facility. And so, with our swimming lessons, we really encourage that growth, and not to push anybody, but you know, I've seen our swimming instructors in with folks that, you know, didn't take lessons when they were 5 or 6 years old, that are in their 60s and 70s. And it's a very nerve-wracking and humbling experience, not only for the participant, but for the instructor. I mean, how awesome is that you've taught somebody who's never learned how to swim in their 40, 50, 60 plus years of life, and now they're smiling because they know that next time they go on vacation, not only can they feel safe in the ocean or in the pool around their grandkids or their kids, but now they can have fun while they do it too.
You're actually safer in the pool than you are the ocean, aren't you?
Well, definitely at Charlotte Aquatic Center you are.
So, talk a little bit then about the programs. You mentioned the age difference. You have programs for people of every age.
Starting with 6-month-olds, and right now that's a very popular class we run, our baby and lightning bug classes. They've gotten so big where we're going to begin offering them, instead of one time a week on Saturdays, we're beginning to offer them Monday evenings as well. Our swimming lessons are something that they're gaining notoriety, and we're seeing increases in the number of the people that are enrolling as they recognize, you know, hey, now Charlotte, they've got some really good instructors there. And so those programs are starting to get bigger. And with the aquatic programming, each element really feeds off each other.
So there's kind of a progression of stages.
Right. And when I run my tiger shark swim practices, for instance, that's when our level 2s or level 3s are finishing up. Or sometimes I'll be in for, you know, teaching a level 2 or 3 swim class, and I'll say, hey, do you see those guys practicing over there? How many of you would like to do that? And you should see all the happy faces who, maybe before they didn't know that they had that opportunity to join a club like that where they could have fun and they could do some racing and learn some new skills. But now they see that other kids are doing it, and immediately that's something that they want to, and we're seeing kids start to flow from one program to the next, and that's just speaking to the youth in the facility. Some of our most loved classes are water exercise classes that I talked about before, and our instructors are really terrific.
How do you exercise in the water?
Well, it's something that it's very beneficial to folks of all ages, because with our water exercise classes, it's something where you can really go at your own speed, and our instructors have been trained, and they know to respect that, and to make sure that each person's comfortable in the water. If they need to modify something, they can certainly modify it. And like I said, with tiger sharks and the social aspect of it, it's the same thing with our water exercise classes. A lot of the folks who come there, men and women alike, they'll get together for breakfast after classes, and they really build some nice strong bonds through that, along with getting a great workout. So it's really, everybody gets so much out of those programs, and it's...
Well, so tell us, why is swimming good for people?
Swimming is great for people. It's not just good. It's one of the most low-impact exercises that you can do. If you're concerned about muscles or joints, like I said, in our pools we have two where if you feel more comfortable in warm water or cold water, shallow water, deep water, you can really do anything that you'd like to do. I've had folks come in with chronic back pain, and after an hour or two in the pool, they'll come out into my office and they'll tell me how much better they feel.
Yeah.
And so I say it's a fountain of youth, but really, it is, because you can go in, you can work at your own pace, you can just float around, and you can get some extreme benefits out of that. Just being submerged in the water, your heart is working 1/3 harder, burning more calories than if you'd be standing on solid ground.
Yeah, so it's good exercise no matter what you do. You don't have to be competitively swimming laps or exercising, just in the pool moving.
You could be water walking, talking to your friends on a leisurely morning, and you're still getting a pretty good benefit out of it.
Yeah. And so what do you think the Aquatic Center really does for the community as a whole? You've got a great facility, terrific people, good programs. How does that add value to Charlotte?
It adds value in a couple of different ways. Like you said, it's very family friendly. You can come in there for an open swim with the whole family and have a good time. And there's value in our memberships where it's definitely affordable for a family to come in and do that. As far as benefits with programming, one of the things that we're looking into is it's called the world's largest swimming lesson. And one thing that I really love is called waterproofing the community. And whether it's through our gym classes that we offer there, or our Learn to Swim program that we run through the Red Cross, having a community that's 100% waterproof is something I'm very interested and passionate about doing. And I've been involved in the past couple of years doing something called the world's largest swimming lesson, where every year, it's usually sometime in June, a lot of pools at the same time try and break the Guinness Book of World Record for the biggest swim lesson by all teaching the same swim lesson at once. And so far, the national record holder for a single facility is 203 people. In our two pools, we have the capacity to have over 500 people. And so if I half fill up the pool this summer, I mean, what a great benefit of that, what a great experience and what a great benefit for the community to have that kind of exposure to being safe around the water. And that's something that I really enjoy.
So you're on the cusp of a world record.
Yeah.
Dan, we appreciate your time and the knowledge that you shared about the Charlotte Aquatic Center. I'm Bob Colt, and we'll continue our conversations in Charlotte Public Schools.